We are very, very close to the release of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. At the time of this recording, it's literally a day before it releases because, I mean, if you got the deluxe edition, which I was very clearly dumb enough to do because I'm obsessed with this damn series, you get to play it at least 72 hours earlier, and that works out for me, sort of, because it comes out Sunday. So that's great. That's awesome. Or Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. So I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. I made a kind of wish list regarding my final hopes and wishes when it comes to Sonic Racing Crossworlds after the beta, right? And I feel like this still kind of applies because I feel like a lot of this stuff can definitely be touched upon over time and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of making this out of just for the love of the game. I just want to eventually see Sonic Racing Crossworlds be the best that it can possibly be, because the beta did actually show that there is a lot of potential with this game. A lot of the reviews are already rolling in. They're saying that it is absolutely incredible. It's easily the best Sonic Racing game that we've ever had, and it's just looking very, very good in a positive way. So I did make this little list though to just kind of talk about my final hopes, right? Like going forward, maybe eventually some of these things could be touched up, added, or something along those lines, right? So I guess let's go ahead and just jump into it, right? First things first, over time, and this is a very obvious one, this is just one that can always be improved, right, generally speaking, but that the online is refined a tad more, right? There were a lot of times where I found myself getting kicked from lobbies and things like that. There was a lot of times where we would be loading into a game and it just wouldn't load up, especially near the end there. It seemed like there was a lot of issues just trying to get in the games and stuff like that. And, there was a moment where it was my internet, but at the same time, there were times throughout the beta that week, or that weekend, where I just couldn't. It was pretty annoying to get in the game sometimes, and I could definitely tell, the servers were struggling a little bit, probably because they had a lot more players than they were probably even anticipating. So, just, over time, polish it up. Hopefully things work out for the best. I think, for the most part, though, the beta did a good job of handling the amount of people that were playing, and it did awesome. By the way, sorry if I sound nasally and tired, whatever. I'm still getting over whatever this is, like a cold or something. I don't know what the hell came over me, but I apologize for any major pauses and stuff like that. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. I could definitely hear it though. But either way, next to that, cosmetics need to be just down the line, just implemented constantly. We need to be able to get more cosmetics for all of the characters, right? We did see, I think it's in the beta, I'm not entirely sure, or no, I'm sorry, in the demo that released. I'm avoiding the demo. I don't want to play the demo because I want to experience the Grand Prix fresh out. I want to experience everything right from the get-go for the first time in the actual game. So I'm avoiding the demo for now as much as I possibly can, because I don't want to burn out, because I would be playing that game a lot. But cosmetics are a must, right? Not just different colors and skins, whatever. I want genuine cosmetics. I want to see Sonic with his rider's gear. I want to see him with the gauntlet. I want to see him with his IDW fits, like the what is the ghost, whatever that fit was that he had during the Rider's arc in IDW. That was a sick ass run, right? I want to see Amy with different dresses. I want to see Knuckles in different fits and things like that. Shadow, Rouge in their different unique fits from I guess we are getting the Prime characters, but I want to see a multitude of cosmetics for all of these characters, because we've seen throughout the years and history of Sonic characters that they have been put in so many different cosmetics. Even Sonic Rumble has an abundance of them in uniforms and outfits that we've never even seen before, and I would love to see that kind of thing throughout, over the course of time, implemented on their models throughout the game, because I would really love to see that. So hopefully they continuously implement more stuff for characters. Again, I was bringing up the demo because we did see that when you can change a character's cosmetics or their style, I guess you could, for Sage, you can change the coloring of her glitches or whatever those are called. and there's a blue and red form, and you could change them right from the menu. And that's cool, that's dandy. Hopefully we get more cosmetics so that we could do this kind of thing with other characters as well, right? So that's where I'm at with that. I really do hope that cosmetics make, you know, their way slowly but surely into the game throughout the course of its run, right? So hopefully that's a thing. I want the events to be common enough but not mandatory. Now, like I said in my previous video, I understand that it was most likely because it was the beta and they wanted to do a stress test to make sure that things worked properly, that when they did the Joker event, we couldn't do anything else. We couldn't go back to regular World Race. They wouldn't allow it. We were locked into the Joker event for that entire day until it ended, right? And, you know, the Joker event was cool and all. It was fun. I had a good time. But there was a time where I was just like, all right, well, I've gotten everything now. I'd really like to go back to World Race and get my rank up, only to find that I needed to wait. So I was just like, oh, okay, great, awesome. So that sucks. Again, though, hopefully down the line, you know, it's not a mandatory thing. We are able to swap between World Race and the events as they pop up. So hopefully that does appear to be the case going forward. We will have to see what happens as soon as the Miku event shows up, because that's going to be the very first thing that happens. So we'll have to see what happens with all that. But either way, I'm looking forward to all the events. All the characters look pretty good so far. I'm really excited. I need this next thing, and this is major, right? And I don't think it's impossible to be able to do this later. And it better not cost any money either. The other characters, the DLC characters or additional characters, they need voice packs. They need voices. It's very ridiculous for the werehog to not say anything. If you're gonna add SpongeBob and Patrick, you're acting like you can't get Tom Kenny up in that. Like, guys, no, we can work something out here. There is no, like, there are characters like Pac-Man, right? You can just use like just audio clips from his own game, you know. It doesn't need, it's not like Pac-Man talks, you know. You can use little fun emotes and stuff that make noises. You don't have to have a voice line for him, right? For in the case of, you know, because Miku has something of a voice, right? She sings and stuff, but you know, Joker not having any lines at all is genuinely ridiculous, right? That is just absolutely ridiculous. You guys literally have Xander Mobus on your payroll, guys. This is your character. This is Seka's character. Get him his voice lines, bro. That's ridiculous. You don't even have to get him in the booth for that. You could grab from the game. He has plenty of voice lines that you can choose from. It's a grab and go bin right there. That's crazy that we just don't have that. And that applies to just, you know, all the other characters too. I'm very worried we're going to have a very similar problem with all of the characters, the Avatar characters, all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters, and stuff like that. And, you know, the other, I'm not going to say it just in case nobody knows about it, but, you know, the other DLC character, I mean, that character doesn't talk, but regardless, there is genuinely no excuse as to why these characters are completely silent. That is not okay. Also, extremely, do the Prime characters talk? If the Prime characters talk, I'm gonna be pissed, because I mean, not that, you know, those voice character actors are bad or anything like that, but it's just like, why them specifically? You know, of all the characters that we want to hear, the Prime characters are, I'm not as worried about, if I'm honest, but whatever, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, no, we absolutely need to get more voice lines going for these characters down the line, right? And then the last primary thing that I wrote down here, didn't want to take up too much time, I guess. I guess I didn't really have that much here. But the last thing is that for the Sega-based crossovers, we should have more than one character, right? We could have more than just Ichiban, you know? We could have Kiryu and stuff like that. For Persona, obviously, we could have Mona. You know, that Mona would be an adorable character on a board, in a car, whatever. Like, that's the mascot. You know, that totally makes sense to me, personally. Even, you know, Makoto or Yu. as drivers would be sick as hell, right? Like, I feel like the characters that you guys own, it's not crazy to grab more for them, you know? I get it that, you know, you grab the main characters of their respective series, and so, you know, that's you're utilizing the most iconic characters. That's totally fine. But, like, there's other characters within those series that are just as, if not more popular than their initial characters too, you know? So, I don't know. Hopefully we get to see more from the Persona packs. We get to see more from the either Like a Dragon or General Yakuza packs. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many things we could do here, you know? Especially because, like, how do we only have Joker, but we have SpongeBob and Patrick, but we have Korra and Aang? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy baffling to me that that's all we're working with. But either way, I don't know. Maybe down the line we could get more updates. Maybe we'll have multiple events for Persona, for Like a Dragon or General Yakuza and stuff like that, and we'll see more characters and things like that. I mean, if I'm honest, I don't really have an attachment to Miku, so I don't really care if we get more Vocaloid stuff. But at the same time, you know, I'm sure it'd be neat for a lot of people if there were more Vocaloids. I don't know what they are. I don't know what the situation is there. But regardless, that's where I'm at with that. So I just really do have a lot of hopes for this game. I do want to see this game flourish. I want to see this game just hit its stride for a long time to come, because this is definitely going to be one of my, like, go-to just, I'm just going to pick it up and play it for a little while in the background while I'm talking to homies or whatever. So, you know, I really hope that Sonic Racing Crossworlds does deliver on all of its potential. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to you guys. And I want you guys to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you want all of these things to happen? Do you feel like any of my wishes here make a lot of sense and that they could help improve the game from the beta and just going forward generally? All of these things could be updates and work very well in improving the game for you. Or are you on the opposing side? Nothing here would help or satisfy your needs for this game to improve. You don't really have any interest in it anyways, and you just don't see it getting any better. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be Skedaddle Clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do exactly that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm Gonzo. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!